Imagine a world without algebra. No modern engineering. No computer algorithms. No GPS. No physics as we know it. None of the modern world, literally none of it, would exist. Now imagine all those tools being forged over 1,000 years ago, not in Europe, not in Silicon Valley, but in the heart of a rising Muslim empire. Welcome to the Abbasid dynasty. Welcome to the golden age of mathematics. Because in this era, numbers weren't just symbols, they were power, they were truth, they were the language used to decode the universe, and the people who mastered them changed the future of humanity.
It begins in the year 750 CE, when the Abbasids took control of the Islamic world and built a new capital, Baghdad. But this was no ordinary city. Baghdad was engineered like a cosmic symbol, a perfect circle fortified by geometry, aligned by astronomical principles. This was a city that was designed to think. And inside this circular masterpiece was the greatest intellectual laboratory the ancient world had ever seen. The House of Wisdom, Beit al-Hikmah. Not a library, not a school, but an engine, a literal factory for knowledge. Greek, Persian, Indian, Syriac, Coptic, and Roman manuscripts were collected, translated, debated, improved, rewritten, and reborn. And at the heart of all this intellectual chaos stood mathematics.
The first giant walked quietly. His name was Muhammad ibn Musa al-Khwarizmi. Most Americans don't know this name, but everyone uses his work every day. Your phone's navigation, your browser's search engine, your bank account balance, all run on algorithms, and algorithm comes directly from his name, al-Khwarizmi. He wrote the compendious book on calculation by completion and balancing, the world's first true textbook of algebra. Before him, mathematics was geometry and arithmetic. After him, mathematics became language, a system of symbols and operations that could solve unknowns, predict the future, model reality. He didn't just solve equations. He created a way of thinking, a method that every scientist now uses without even realizing it. And yet, al-Khwarizmi didn't stop there. He introduced the Hindu-Arabic numerals, the 0 to 9 system we still use today. The number 0, which terrified Greek mathematicians, became a practical tool in the Abbasid world. With it, equations became elegant, astronomy became precise, commerce became scalable, civilization evolved.
Once al-Khwarizmi lit the spark, Baghdad erupted with brilliance. Ibn Qura, a mathematician who expanded geometry, discovered new formulas, and translated ancient works with commentary so advanced that modern scholars still cite them. Al-Kindi, the philosopher of the Arabs. He used mathematics to decode music, optics, cryptography, and even psychology. He believed that number is the root of all understanding, and through numbers he dissected reality like a surgeon. Thabit ibn Qura. He created new theorems for number theory, pioneered ideas about infinite series, and laid the groundwork for calculus centuries before Europe.
The Banu Musa brothers, three geniuses funded by the Abbasids who created what many call the first engineering handbook in history. Over 100 mechanical devices, including early robotics, water machines, and precision instruments. But behind all these machines were equations, beautiful, complex, meticulously constructed.
Why did the Abbasids care so much about mathematics? Because math created power. First, astronomy. Precise calculations meant better calendars. Better calendars meant better trade, better farming, better religious observance, and improved navigation. Second, architecture and engineering. Domes, arches, bridges, canals, all refined using mathematical theory. Third, medicine. Surgical tools were measured mathematically. Dosage was quantified. Optics, pioneered by Ibn al-Haytham, merged geometry with biology to create the foundation of modern physics. Fourth, global trade. Commerce needed standardized numbers, weights, and algorithms for calculating profit, tax, and interest. And so, for nearly 500 years, mathematics became the central nervous system of the Islamic Golden Age.
In the 12th century, Europe began translating Islamic works into Latin. When al-Khwarizmi's algebra arrived in Spain, scholars were shocked. The symbolic method was unlike anything in Greek mathematics. It was clean, powerful, universal. This was the moment Europe's scientific revolution began. The spark that later ignited the Renaissance, the age of discovery, and eventually the modern technological world. The computer you use today is the distant descendant of a man writing in the House of Wisdom over 1,000 years ago.
The Golden Age slowly dimmed after Baghdad fell in 1258 CE. But by then, the work was done. The ideas had already escaped, traveling across continents, shaping societies. The Abbasids may have fallen, but the mathematics they created never died. Whenever you solve an equation, ask your calculator for an answer, or let an algorithm make your life easier. You are living in the shadow of the Golden Age. A world built by mathematicians from a city of perfect geometry, in a dynasty that believed numbers could unlock the secrets of the universe. So the next time someone wonders how ancient civilizations shaped the modern age, remember the Abbasids. Remember the men who gave the world algebra, algorithms, and the number zero. And remember how a city called Baghdad became the beating heart of human intellect. Because the Golden Age of Islam was not just a moment in history. It was a reminder that genius can rise from anywhere, even from a circle in the desert, even from a house built for wisdom, even from numbers written 1,000 years before we were born.